Most sellers think their home is ready for showings. It looks clean, the furniture is in place, nothing seems obviously wrong. But here's the problem. Pretty good doesn't stand out. Most buyers are walking through 5 or 6 homes in a weekend. By the time they get to yours, they've already seen multiple kitchens, multiple living rooms, multiple primary suites, and multiple backyards. The homes that get remembered aren't always the biggest or the most expensive. They're the ones that feel right the moment buyers walk through the door. A few years ago, sellers could get away with putting a home on the market before it was fully ready. Inventory was low, buyers had few options, and homes were selling quickly. But that's not the market we're in today. Buyers are taking their time. They're comparing homes. They're paying attention to details. And if something doesn't feel right, they move on to the next one. The good news is that the things that make the biggest difference usually aren't expensive. They just require a little intention. So let me show you 3 things I tell almost every seller before we start showings. First, fix the small things. I'm talking about the loose doorknob, the dripping faucet, the burnt out light bulb, the cracked outlet cover, the cabinet door that just doesn't quite close correctly. A lot of sellers look at those things and think, that's minor, but buyers don't see it that way. Think about it from their perspective. They don't know if the roof has been maintained. They don't know how well the HVAC has been cared for. They don't know what's behind the walls. So they're looking for clues. Every little thing they touch becomes part of the story they're telling themselves about the house. When they flip a light switch on and it doesn't work, or they notice a faucet that just keeps dripping, they start wondering what else might have been neglected. On the other hand, when everything works exactly the way it should, the home feels cared for, and that feeling matters more than most sellers realize. Second, make it easier for buyers to picture themselves living there. This is one of the hardest parts for sellers because it's personal. You've built memories in this home. Your family photos belong there. Your decorations belong there. But buyers need room for their own story. I always tell sellers that buyers don't need to fall in love with your life. They need to start imagining theirs. The goal isn't for them to admire your family photos. The goal is for them to imagine where their photos would go. The goal isn't for them to notice your favorite chair. It's for them to picture where their chairs would sit. That's why removing personal items, clearing countertops, and creating open space is so important. According to the National Association of Realtors 2025 Profile of Home Staging, 83% of buyers' agents said staging helped buyers visualize a property as their future home. And honestly, that makes perfect sense. The moment buyers start imagining where they'll drink coffee in the morning, where they'll celebrate birthdays, or where they'll put the Christmas tree up, you've already won half the battle. Third is create a simple showing routine. Because here's the reality. You may have 10, 20, or even 30 showings before the right buyer comes along. You can't deep clean the house every single time. What you can do is create a system. Beds made, counters cleared, lights on, blinds open, trash taken out, pets out of the house. The same routine every single time. The sellers who stay the least stressed during the process aren't necessarily the ones with the perfect house. They're the ones with the best system. They know exactly what needs to happen before every showing, so they're not scrambling every time an appointment comes through. And one more thing. When buyers come to see the house, leave. I know that sounds obvious, but it's important. Buyers are much more comfortable opening closets, talking openly, and imagining themselves in the house when the owner isn't standing nearby. Let your agent handle the showing. Give buyers the space they need to experience the home on their own. At the end of the day, buyers aren't just purchasing bedrooms and bathrooms. They're purchasing a feeling. The home that sells the fastest and for the strongest price are usually the homes that make buyers feel comfortable, confident, and excited about what life could look like there. And that's exactly what great preparation helps create. If you're thinking about selling, I'd be happy to walk through your home with you and give you honest feedback on what buyers are likely to notice right away, both the good and the bad. That way you can focus on the things that actually matter, avoid spending money where you don't need to, and put yourself in the best position possible when your home hits the market.